So hello everyone, welcome to another very interesting video of the series Fun with Python from Akansha Academy, and we are again back with OOPS concept, and this is the part 2 of the lecture on OOPS. So let me open another Python console and let's hop into the first question, guys. So here what we are doing, it is the polymorphism trick. Okay, now we'll try to understand what is the question. We have one class called animal, okay, and we have a method called speak. So speak method, it is returning some sound. Okay, it is just returning the string some sound. And we have another class dog which inherits animal, and it is overriding the method speak. Okay, and it is returning a string called bark. So we have two classes, right? Now we have a function which is what it is doing. It is taking argument of an object and it is trying to print the speak method of the object. Okay, whatever object we are passing, it will try to call the speak method of that object. Okay, now what we see, we can see that we have two calls of that make sound method, one by passing the dog like an object of the dog class, and next an object of the animal class. Okay, now guys, what do you think? Okay, will it behave similarly because it is the same function we are calling? Will it behave the same, or do we have any concept of polymorphism in Python? So basically, what is polymorphism? Polymorphism, basically what it does is whenever we call one function, okay, passing different kind of arguments or different number of arguments, it will behave differently. Okay, so the same name will have different behaviors is called polymorphism. So now we will see, okay, what you can do. Like, as if you are already following this series Fun with Python, you are already aware that if you know the answer, you can just pause the video here and you can comment, or you can share your answers in the comment. I hope that you have already done this. Now what we'll do, we'll try to run this question. Okay, because as we always say, how do we learn something is by executing the code. Okay, so let's run the code. So the first call is giving us bark because we have called dog. Okay, and when we call the same function with an object of animal class, it is giving us some sound. So this is a clear indication that we have runtime polymorphism present in Python. And this is the way, guys, how we can achieve that. Okay, in many of the interviews, you will be asked about do we have concepts of polymorphism? What is the way to implement this? Okay, so you can clearly give this example and your life will be sorted. Okay, and this is one of the trickiest questions you can ever get in a Python interview. Okay, guys, so hope you have learned something. With this, we will be moving to our next question. And what it is basically class method versus static method. Okay, now in this example, what we can see, we have a class called example. Okay, we have a counter variable called count, and the count is initialized with 0. And we have a init method in which what we are doing, we are basically increasing the count variable of this class example by 1. And this is a decorator. Like, how do we define class method is by using a decorator, and then defining the methods. In this, we need to pass the class itself. Okay, we need to pass the class and not any object, so that it can it can access the variables inside the class. Okay, so count is some variable which is defined inside the class, and if some function needs to access it, it should be definitely a class method. Otherwise we can just print things but we cannot pass variable values, right? And in the static method, again we are using a decorator. Static method, what it is, guys, I'll tell you. Static method is nothing but a function. Okay, it is a helper function which can be accessed by anyone. Let's suppose we are defining some class, and inside the class we are, if we are defining any static method, that definitely means that it can be accessed outside the class without passing the class itself. Okay, now what it is doing, like it has like function called greet, and what it is doing, it is doing nothing but printing hello pythonista. Okay, now we have two objects of the class example. We are creating two objects. Okay, so the counter variable, definitely it will try to increase, and what we are doing, we are trying to, we are basically trying to call this function, class function show count, and we are trying to call this class function greet. Okay, without even creating any object, we are trying to call this. So the question here, guys, will this work? Okay, we are not defining any object. Will this work? Okay, you can pause the video here, guys, and you can type your answers in the comment. So I hope that you have already done this, and now we'll quickly run. Okay, so the first, what it is doing, it is basically returning the number of objects created. So definitely we are able to access the class method. Also, the static method, as with the explanation itself, you will be aware that it can be accessed without creating any object, right? So it was again something learned, okay, something new you have learned, guys. Or if someone if you are already aware of this concept, class method and static method, you can comment down the video, and you can say that what are the different use cases you have used, or what are the tricky scenarios where you have implemented class method and static method, right? So this will move to the next. Okay, so here we have two bundles. One is STR and another one is REPR. Okay, so first, basically what it does, it is nothing but the definition of the print. It is used to print. And second one is, let's suppose we have lists or dictionaries or these kind of things. So to represent all the values, or to print down all the values or contents inside a list, we use these REPR bundle. Okay, now what we are doing in the question, we are trying to define a class product. Okay, we are defining the init method in which we are passing the name and the price and initializing the self name, self price when the object is created, and we are trying to override the bundle REPR and string. So in REPR, what we are doing, we are trying to print product's name and the price, and in STR, we are trying to print the name and the cost. So just a second, guys. Yeah. So in this, what is the question? So we are trying to define, initialize, okay, uh, an object of the product class, and we are trying to pass the name and the price to it. Now we are trying to print P, and then we are trying to print the list P, okay, which is obviously the price and the the name and the price. So what do you think? What will happen? Same print, will it differ like in the approach in which it is printing the values? So again, like you can comment, you can add your knowledge in the comment section, and I hope you have already done that by pausing the video. Now we'll run this. So as you can see, the same print is having two different outputs. One is calling this REPR, which we have overridden. Another one is calling this STR. Okay. So in this way, we can we are able to uh, like change the definitions of these bundles like REPR and STR as well, right? So similarly, in the next example, okay, we are quickly jumping on to our next example. Here we are trying to override the functionalities of equal equal bundle. Okay, what we are doing basically, we are trying to create a class person, and inside it, the init method, we are trying to pass on the values of age and name, and then with the equal operator, okay, let's suppose some other value is passed, then we are trying to return whether the age defined in the class is equal to the other age or not. Okay, now here we are trying to create two objects of the person class p1 and p2. Okay, person, we are trying to pass ls and 25, and the name is again Bob, and the age is same. Now we are trying to print p1 equal to p2. So ideally, like this should return false, right? Because uh, it will equate everything inside. Okay, name should be correct, the age should be correct. If everything matches, then it will return true. Otherwise it should return false. Now the question here is whether it will return true or false. So this is the final question of this video, guys. So you can just pause the video and comment down your answers. Okay, so I hope that you have already done that. Okay, and let's this question run. Okay, it is returning true, so it is exactly the opposite behavior. Now what has actually happened is we have overridden, okay, we have changed or modified the definition of this eq function, which is like private or dundle. Okay, as we say, as we say, which is, it is not comparing everything but just the age. That's why if the age is same, it is returning true. But generally, if we have not overridden the value, what it will do, it will return false, because the entire content is not same. It is different because the name is same. Name is different, Alice and Bob. So it should have returned false, but instead it has returned true. Okay, so guys, with this, this is an end to the like episode. Okay, part 2 is completed. We will be back with another video in this fun with Python series. Okay, and we will keep on exploring the different areas in Python, and we will try to enhance your knowledge. And if you have stayed till this point in the video, please guys, like, share this playlist with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues, so that you can help them grow in their career. Okay, and please press a like on the like button. Okay, and subscribe to our channel if you have not already done that. So thank you so much guys for staying till this.